Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. Can
How's
you
it
hear
going? I can. I
me?
can.
Good. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Very good. Uh, just got off work from Papa John's.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. How long you work there?
It's been like a week and a half now, and I used to
Okay.
work there like 3 months ago, but yeah.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
So I basically just have like a list of questions uh for you,
Yeah.
and then if you want, I could share my perspective and we could debate, or could just leave it at your like answering of these questions type thing.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of time. I've got, a couple of kiddos that I'm working with, so I probably got 45 minutes at the most. So I guess we'll kind of see where the discussion takes us.
Cool.
I'm fine either way, honestly.
Yeah, 30 minutes
30
is
minutes?
about
Perfect.
how much I have to go back to work.
Perfect. Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, let's go for it. And if you feel like you have any follow-up questions to something that I said or a point you wanted to make, go for it. I think that'd be a good, healthy discussion.
Awesome. So the first part is just a general introduction of
Yeah,
yourself, as much as you wanted to share about yourself.
sweet. Yeah. My name is Steven. I currently live south of Salt Lake City in Utah. I'm from Oregon originally, so a lot of my family and roots are still over there. And got a wife, couple of kiddos. Have a job that I like. I'm in sales, and yeah, I mean, big sports fan. So I like baseball, college football, basketball, and stuff like that. And I like watching the Olympics sports as well. So yeah, really kind of just brief about me, really.
Cool.
Yeah,
So next question
yeah,
would be your thoughts of veganism,
hmm
like just a general, uh, whatever.
yeah. Well, honestly, I don't really have a negative or a positive opinion either way. I mean, I feel like it's a lifestyle that if people feel like they want to live it, live it, right? And just like in anything that we do, right? I think it's more important to, sorry, I got my dog with me. Um, I think it's more important to go about living your life um, and not necessarily pushing your lifestyle on others. And I think we see that too much on either side of the veganism thing, right? I feel like we have the extreme folks within veganism that are like, well, you're killing animals, or you're doing this, you're doing that, you're causing a loss of life, and really making it about trying to bring down the person that doesn't follow veganism. But
Yeah,
then again, you have the people on the other side that are like, well, I'm gonna eat 3 pounds of meat a day, and I'm gonna be, my smoker's gonna be on 24/7, right? And then kind of taking that, bringing it to a vegan's house or around a vegan restaurant, or people that are just kind of sensitive to that. It's like, guys, I mean, if you want to eat meat, great. If you want to follow vegan principles, awesome, right? But overall, I think it's a matter of living your life and going about it in the way that you would like to best, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess what have you found with that? Because I imagine you're vegan, right? That's how we Yeah, you're vegan. So I guess how do you view that as well?
my stance or perspective would be being vegan is a moral obligation
Hmm.
if you have the means to be vegan,
Yeah.
like as far as practically possible. But I do also see there's like some gray lines, and like there's it can be complicated, but I think
Yeah.
in general most of the general public can be vegan, especially in like well developed countries like
Mhm.
the United States. And I think that it is a moral obligation, but I don't agree with the idea of shaming or like bringing people down about it,
Yeah.
because like even thinking it's a moral obligation, it still seems like that approach doesn't actually change people's minds and stuff.
Yeah, because it's, that's an interesting part about it too. And I've run into a few, I mean, honestly, I can't say that I've ever met or have anybody close to me that have been vegan. So I've never really had these conversations, but I've, read stories and seen things online of, of people living, going about their life as a vegan and things like that. And some have shamed others, some haven't, and then again, on the other side, like I had mentioned, it really is interesting because I think it also comes down to not just that moral obligation. If you feel like eating meat is genuinely wrong, or not just eating meat, but the animal products,
Yeah.
right? Um, but like if you genuinely feel like that's the wrong thing to do, then yeah, go for it, and don't part don't partake in those things, right? But then at the same time, I think I don't know, it definitely is an interesting discussion because there are also animal byproducts and things that we use every day. So I mean, I think maybe that's a gray line, right? Like where do we stop ourselves when it comes to consumption? Is it just consumption of food, or is it consumption of products? And that's the funky line too.
Yeah, I'd like to think that if we had a choice to have more ethical clothing, then we could take that choice. But it's definitely different from animal agriculture in
Yeah.
multiple ways, where it's worse in some ways, but I guess just the grander scale of the impact of animal agriculture
Yeah.
is what makes it like logically worse.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Totally get that. Yeah. Totally get that. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm ready. Keep firing away.
awesome. Uh, next question would be, what's holding you back from going vegan? If you have the desire to be vegan or any desire, if not, where does your lack of desire stem from?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, for me, I don't feel the need to. I feel like I have a balanced diet and a balanced way that I eat and that I feel good. And also knowing my body, if I honestly shied away from everything that had animal product in it, especially kind of sticking with, straight fruits and veggies and and oats and everything like that, I just know my body wouldn't handle it well. I know that my body wouldn't metabolize that all too well. I feel like I'd need that extra sustenance, but also at the same time, I've given it somewhat of a try, but haven't really gone fully to try it. But also too, I mean, I got a wife and a couple of kids, and I don't know if I can afford to try experimenting with something that would be as extreme
Yeah, yeah,
in
I
relation
get
to
it.
my diet.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a big switch. I actually have a son as
Oh,
well,
nice. Yeah.
and he was vegan for the first 2 years of his life, and then yeah, now I get him every other weekend and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, and whenever I first went vegan, it was like just a learning curve of like realizing what would like sustain me and what would make me feel
Yeah.
full, but also learning like the actual nutrition and like what I would want to eat to get an actual balanced diet and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Especially when all the nutrition is concerned, because when you take out meat, when you take out other animal products, you have to substitute, especially that protein, with other things. So it's like, okay, how much, meat would I need to get this amount of protein and this amount of nutrition? But in the same thing with these vegetables over here or these food products over here. Yeah, totally get that.
yeah. And one thing that I learned about like price and stuff is like
Mm.
it can be cheaper, but it's really boring. Like I could buy a bunch of rice and beans and then get like nuts and seeds and like just whole foods, but like in bulk that are pretty cheap and
Mhm.
give me what I need. But it's really boring. And like if I want to get like something fancier, like something with textures that I really enjoy, especially since I haven't really experimented with like cooking and like making my own vegan cheeses and like bigger
Mhm.
dishes at home. Uh, but yeah, I have to spend a lot more money at the grocery store to buy those products that actually taste good,
Yeah.
which, yeah, that's definitely a reality that I found because they are way more expensive for less. And
Yeah.
I think that's because they know the market that they're going for, people are going to buy them because they're driven to, and there's not, yeah,
And I imagine the cost of production and the cost of packaging for those things might be a little more. And also considering that a lot of the food that we could potentially buy is processed, and so making processed foods and things like that and high end, big scale packaging,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's not like everything is going to be all vegan,
yeah,
and not big companies might not go that route.
yeah, that's definitely a huge part of the problem. Isn't necessarily like just the fact that it's animal products.
Yeah,
It's how we go about it. Although
exactly.
I would definitely say that we we can make much less of an impact if we derived our like protein and nutrients and like as far as especially just like beef in general, as far as the environment and stuff, and like how much land and uh how many crops we're growing to feed them.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, and I wonder too, kind of and I haven't looked this up at all either, but how much, I guess, how much of our produce is coming from the United States or is coming from,
yeah, I
Mexico,
actually
Canada, or even South and Central America.
yeah, there's actually a couple studies which compares and I can share them with you if
Yeah,
you,
please, that'd be great.
awesome. So it compares avocados and I think quinoa shipped from somewhere east. I forget which country, but it compared it to local grass-fed cows. And the problem with local grass-fed cows and why it was actually still less emissions is, well, one, the like the boats and like cargo ships are like very efficient and like they carry over tons and tons of stuff, but
Hmm.
grass-fed cows usually take longer to actually uh like compared to cows in factory farms and I forget the actual word, but they don't grow as fast basically. So
Yeah.
so they live longer and so they create more emissions. Uh, but yeah, there's many other scenarios and like that's that was just one study and one example and one little pocket of the whole like bigger picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of show as far as like just how many resources it takes to raise a cow, um, and sorry,
No, you're good. You're good.
and how many resources it takes to ship in plants that were grown in some other country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'll have to look more into that. And yeah, if you could share those with me, that'd be really interesting read.
definitely. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. What else? Fire away.
I got one more question, which is basically going off of the last question.
Mhm.
Kind of, it's what could help you go vegan if you did desire to be vegan.
Honestly, I don't think anything could. I mean, to be 100% honest, I mean, I like what I eat, and I enjoy I enjoy making food for my family, whether it's meat or, any sort of pastas or anything like that. I know there are vegan pastas and there are a lot of vegan
Yeah.
things, and so I mean, right now I just don't have the desire to try it. I mean, I don't
Gotcha.
like I hope that doesn't sound bad, but
No,
it's
no,
it's like
no.
I
It's
feel comfortable in what I'm doing, I guess, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you have were there a lot of people that kind of questioned you when you went into trying veganism?
Yeah, yeah. Um, a lot of family members and just like coworkers. And I actually used to work on a grill station for the
Mm,
university, so I would cook burgers and stuff, and like I would get into conversations with people there. And I worked with a cattle farmer actually once,
okay.
but like I mean we got along and it was cool. Like we actually had like productive conversation and stuff.
That's good.
Uh, but yeah, he definitely completely doubted it. He believed that I was gonna die if I didn't eat a burger.
Right, right. Well, and that's the funky thing, and maybe that's kind of the side of the non-veganism argument is like, well, if you don't eat this or if you don't drink a glass of milk a day or whatever the case may be, then you're not going to get the nutrition that you need. It's like,
Yeah,
what, if I say I don't find the nutrition that I need within the fruits and vegetables, the rice and the beans that I'm purchasing for my diet, then I'm sure there are also vegan nutrition supplements that I can, supplement my diet until I can find the proper balance for me. Right.
yeah,
And I think the biggest thing when it comes to the biggest problem that I have with the non-vegan side, especially those that are really into smoking, cooking meats and stuff like that,
yeah,
is is the potential for waste of the meat or being too gluttonous with their eating, right? I don't think it's healthy for me to sit down and eat so much meat that I get the meat sweats.
yeah,
Like that's definitely not healthy for me. Whether it's chicken or pork or beef or whatever the case may be, freaking fish. Like I shouldn't get to that point, right? Um, and I think that's kind of the negative, especially the negative side, at least from my perspective on the non-vegan diet, especially those that are just really into smoking and grilling and cooking and all that fun stuff, the
yeah.
potential for gluttony.
Have you ever heard of carnivores or people that just eat meat?
I've heard of carnivore diets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It seems like there's, I mean, some potential benefits, but not enough to offset any negatives. You know,
yeah,
it really does come down to a more balanced diet. At least and I look at it like if I'm eating celery, carrots, and radishes all day, I'm not gonna get the nutrition that I need, which is the reason why you need rice and you need beans, you need oats, you need, apples and oranges and all those things, right?
yeah,
Especially if you want all that nutrition, But then again, if you're only going to be eating turkey and chicken and beef and whatnot, what else do you need to supplement to get the other nutrition that you need, the different types of fiber and whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely interesting for sure. Yeah. And I guess actually, I want to ask you, what have you thought about when you worked at the grill station and now working at Papa John's? Because I mean, you're working with animal product all day long.
I had my I used to joke with people and say that I'm an undercover vegan,
Oh, there
and
you go.
at the girls' station, it was for campus, and
Yeah,
so they actually had like vegan options, and it was fun. And I used to work with the manager and like uh, to put on more vegan options,
mm,
and we had like a vegan grilled cheese and all these things.
nice.
So basically, I just saw it as a possibility give people the same food that they like, but that makes less of an impact. And
Yeah.
yeah, now honestly, I'm at the point where I'd really like to not be working for some company whose values I don't share,
Yeah.
and I'd rather do my own thing. I was in the mindset that this is right where I need to be because I'd like to make it like actually change something about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
rather like play music and do events and things and just talk to people about it full time.
Most definitely. Well, and especially with it becoming more of a mainstream thing, we're seeing vegan restaurants and vegan options on menus and even at company work events, right? Is anybody vegan? Let's provide these vegan options. Let's provide these things and be as honestly as inclusive as we can be, and just hope that everybody is happy with it, because I think, well, you'd have, again, at the beginning of our conversation, the extremes on either side, right? Well, you should eat some meat or else you're going to die. Or, well, you're a super bad person because you're eating meat, right? So, I mean, that's not a healthy conversation. And I think that's something that we have lost, especially within our country. We've lost that, whether it's on topics like this or politics or, I don't know, religion or whatever the case may be. I think we've lost civil discourse, which is a bummer. It really is.
Definitely, yeah. It's it seems hard to find people to have an actual conversation like this about
Yeah.
this topic and probably many other topics. It might just like basically what you were saying. It might just be like you go into the YouTube comment section about something like this,
Man.
and like either one of us just shares something that we said in here, like just authentically, and so
Yeah,
someone's gonna come at it and just
exactly. Like nowhere safe, really. Going to Twitter, freaking comment on something on TikTok. It's like, oh, geez, man, just come on, really? We're talking about this. You can't even type that much. TikTok comment. Just leave it alone. you know? Oh man. No, I get it. And I think that's kind of the crux of it. Just being able to have civil discourse and understanding the viewpoints, sorry, hand in the camera, viewpoint, um, our respective viewpoints. And I think also too, coming into it with the fact that, like, we're not going to convince each other of one way or the other, but what we can do is shed light on our thoughts and opinions. And if we can help, I say the word educate, I don't mean that word, I guess, educate each other on our own viewpoints,
yeah,
because then it allows us to understand others better, just as a whole.
definitely, yeah. I really appreciate you coming on here and having
Yeah,
this conversation.
you're
Uh,
welcome.
is there anything else you'd like to say, or any other points?
Um, really, I think it's just a matter of let's continue to be good people. You said this for a YouTube video, right? So let's continue to be good people and learn to have civil discourse. Anybody who's watching, have civil discourse. Hold on. This is my daughter. um, you'll learn how to have good civil discourse, and I think it'll make everything a lot more productive and happy and good for people, for everybody involved. Hold on
Definitely.
just a second, okay? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Well, hope you enjoy the rest of your day,
I
and
will.
yeah,
I
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you, and happy holidays, however you celebrate, man.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.